in the US still celebrate Independence Day. Like, if you knew the real holiday, the actual holiday, and if you had even a fraction of a percent of human decency and dignity, you'd never celebrate this holiday again. You had a bunch of white cracker-ass motherfuckers fighting over land that isn't even theirs. And that's just the tipping point. Before the date of July 4th, 1776, America took its time to boost up their slave count, with 200,000 active black people forced into slavery. This nation was so juiced in with the blatant extermination of the roughly 10,000 indigenous tribes, going on to unaliving over 56 million indigenous people in the next 100 years, past the first, quote, celebration of independence in 1776. I also want you to remember that in that year, while these cracker were signing their little independence from Britain, this little document of theirs excluded not just black and brown people, but indigenous people, and even some white women. Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3 of the US Constitution states that African Americans were 3/5 human beings. I mean, they didn't even think these people were fully human. Just seriously, think about that for 1 minute. Frederick Douglass said in his famous speech in 1852 at the Corinthian Hall in Rochester, New York, "What to the slave is the 4th of July?" And those words still linger in 2024. Dude, by that time, so much shit had already happened to black people. I mean, I already gave you one. They were considered 3/5 human beings. Mental. See, by 1789, this little glorious country of yours enacted something called the Fugitive Slave Clause, which was a massive highlight in the Constitution. It said if an enslaved person or indentured servant escaped captivity and fled to another state, that person held to service and labor was required to be returned to his or her slaver in the state of which they escaped from.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, don't worry. It wasn't a clause for long, because 4 years later in 1793, Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act, making it law, which resulted into many free black Americans illegally being sold into slavery, even though they were free on paper. Steve McQueen, the director of 12 Years a Slave, captured one of these stories on film perfectly, and it is one of the hardest movies you'll ever watch. This is one of those movies that pulled on my heartstrings at the end. Dude, I wept like a baby. The sheer brutality and realism of this historical darkness will make you remember this story for years to come. But Solomon Northup was one of those slaves that were free in New York State. He was secretly lured into a slave state to play some music for some white folks, eventually drugged and forced into slavery in Georgia. I mean, I can add multiple aspects on why Independence Day is a bullshit holiday to black people. Frankly, to any sane person. Racist right-wing white people want to bitch about Juneteenth being an actual holiday of independence and say things like, why don't we have a white people holiday? You do, Karen. It's called Independence Day. There's your white people holiday, 4th of July. You can barbecue, swim in your in-ground pools, go to your lake trips, set off your fireworks, shoot your little guns, and now you people can kindly shut the up about a white people holiday. Introducing Independence Day, your white people holiday. Enjoy. But y'all know that there cannot be a white person bitching online without some meme creation behind it. Come on. America, offending tyrannical people and governments since 1776. Nah, I think it's more like America colonizing half the planet in the year of our Lord 2024. The only country in the world that has military bases all over the globe. 750 military bases in at least 80 countries. 173,000 troops deployed in 159 countries. And why is that? What the are we doing in Bahrain? That's a country in the Middle East, if you don't know. Like, why do we have bases there? Is it maybe for colonization? If you don't like Independence Day, don't celebrate it. No need to try and ruin it for the rest of us, you commie f***. Why don't you use your own advice and do that for Pride Month, Juneteenth, for Women's Day? What else? What other holidays do these bitch mother like to bitch about? At Woodstock, the coolest event that ever happened, Jimi Hendrix, the coolest guy to ever lived, played the national anthem in front of thousands of progressive anti-establishment hippies, and not one of them protested. Yeah, that's because he played it in protest. See, if you took half a second to Google that shit, you'd know it. You'd know that Jimi Hendrix hates the white-collar conservative. He was an acid-taking, weed-puffing hippie, bro. He sang about freedom and love. How do you not know this shit? Right-wing Christian satire site, and yes, I said satire, wrote this, whatever this shit is, on July 4th, 2022. Remember that date. For the first time since 1972, preborn babies are celebrating Independence Day as their human rights have finally been recognized in several states. According to sources, future doctors, explorers, artists, inventors, mothers and fathers are currently in utero celebrating the July 4th festivities with their fellow human beings. Historians believe this day will be looked upon as a new chapter in a better, more righteous, more just America. On June 24th, 2022, living human beings, actual human beings known as women, lost their human rights to bodily autonomy. 11 days later, the Babylon Bee decided to satire about it, making fun of human beings losing their birth-given rights. And while we're on topic, unborn fetuses are not human beings, they're parasites. I've said this time and time again, and I will continue saying it. The thing won't even know it's alive until it's born, and even then it'll take a couple years, sometimes months, for its cognitive thoughts to start being remembered. A time where they can actually start remembering their own thoughts. That doesn't happen until at least a year and a half into their life. So please, stop calling it a baby. It's a parasite. Oh June, be careful there. Here comes July. Big ol' America's coming to ruin everyone's day, as always. When doesn't America ruin somebody's day? I mean, they've been ruining people's day since 1776, and even before that. America has particularly been ruining the Middle East's day for a long time. I gotta give this right-winger at least some credit for this meme, a little, pat on the shoulder. This is a perfect depiction of how America actually is. A train bulldozing through a school bus filled with little kids. Doesn't that just sound like America? The holiday you're celebrating only exists because people were armed. Happy 4th of July! A bunch of white people fighting other white people on who's going to control the current land that they're standing on. And anyone that isn't white ain't getting shit. I love when I see conservatives deep-throating guns. I think it makes them feel special. It makes them feel big and important. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Or the land of the free and the home of the brave? Wait a minute. Thomas, Children Jefferson didn't write the Star-Spangled Banner. This dude did. Francis Scott Key. This Barbara Streisand-looking motherfucker. But dude, there's so much to unpack here. Holy where do I even start? I guess I'll start from left to right. The removal of a tyrannical, once black people to be slaves forever general? Yeah, I'm cool with that. Black Lives Inc? Happy Juneteenth. I guess celebrating human beings finding out they're finally free is somehow bad? No COVID relief for whites. Dude, this has been debunked. This has been debunked long time ago. This was a lie. Ironically spread by no other than y'all's messiah, Donald Jennifer Trump. Just Google the shit, man. Happy Columbus Day. No. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. And you got better recognize that shit too. Dude, I haven't celebrated Thanksgiving in years. I'm not celebrating the extermination of a certain group of people. I'm just not doing it. And it's actually known as Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Day. Get that right. Ashley Babbitt, 1985 to 2021. Terrorist. Look, I'm sorry this woman lost her life. I really am. But I'm gonna say what you right-wingers like to say to us. She shouldn't have resisted. Then maybe she wouldn't have been shot. I don't understand anyone that knows the true history behind Independence Day and still celebrates it. It's a holiday that's equal to Columbus Day. A holiday that possibly ran out its course and should be removed or maybe renamed. No one on this planet should celebrate a holiday where thousands of people were murdered. But leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you thought about this. And here's the question of the week. Are you celebrating 4th of July? Comment below, let me know, and I'll see you in the comment section. But if you need more crazy right-wing memes, check out my next video right here. And if you can, my friends, please support the channel on Patreon. I will leave those links right here and in the description below. I really hope to see you there. Come get early access to all of my videos, private lives every Saturday, private podcasts, and much more. I hope to see you there. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for weekly leftist progressive videos. And I am out.